Please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Please take your seats. There is an executive session held prior to tonight's council meeting to discuss personnel. Roll call, please.
Ister. Savage.
Here.
Brochus.
Here.
Barnhart.
Here.
Martina.
Here.
I have one addition to the agenda. That will be termination of David Mendler. Do I have a second to add that to the agenda?
Ister. Savage.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Is there any public comment on agenda items at this time? Any public comment on agenda items at this time? All right, moving on. Lake Fest update. Victoria couldn't make it here tonight. At the last one, she got called into work, but she did send something over she'd like for me to share. A few things coming up for them. Christmas in July and Touch a Truck will take place on Saturday, July 26th from 9 to 4 p.m. in Cameron Park. Light Fest will be conducting a fundraiser to help replace some of the lights on Front Street and Market Street. The white lights with the green garland and also them on Chestnut Street as well. We're hoping to work with businesses and citizens to sponsor these poles to offset some of the costs. The Santa House is in need of some repairs. This year's twice the power did go out and when the thermostat went out and there was issues with that. Carpet needs to be cleaned, and coming from DPW, they alerted them that the trailer of the house will need to be replaced here as well. The Santa Parade will take place Friday, November 20 at 6 p.m. and that was from Victoria. Any questions or comments on that? All right, moving on here to letter of commitment, Ready Grant, Ms. Auger.
Yes. So I just wanted to let you know about, I'm preparing an application to submit to the Appalachian Regional Commission Ready Grants to Grow program, and it's to build capacity, organizational capacity for SRI to establish a downtown management program, which would include being able to hire a downtown manager full-time, and also establish an office for downtown management, Main Street management, actually on Market Street, more visible and more available to business owners. I'm currently working with CEDACOG to finalize the scope of the work, and then I just wanted to give you a heads up that probably by the next meeting, if all goes well, we get the scope nailed down, we'll be asking for a letter of commitment, which will include some funds, so I just wanted you to be prepared. It won't be too much, 5,000 to 10,000.
All right, any questions for Jody? All right, moving on here, 2024 comprehensive report. Bree?
Thanks. I just want to hand out, I have an updated report for you from last meeting. And this is what we would consider the final report for 2024 with all the Sunbury Lake program activity that we've been capturing in this one. I just want to highlight, I don't want to take too much meeting time here, but just highlight what was changed since the draft to the final version is we did add a section that highlights the properties that are considered certified like this one, just so that you can see it as a list. I also know that we have some active conversations going on, and my understanding is the work session before February 10th meeting will be dedicated to talking about the process and making sure all the entities involved in this, we're all on the same page and working together. So I'm really looking forward to that. And the only other thing I would say is we have the Housing Summit on Friday. It's turning into quite the event with representation at local, state levels with a lot of agencies and a lot of good folks in the room together. I know Derek and myself are going. I think Joe is also going, so we have city representation as well as Blueprint team's representation. But if you're able to go, it's not too late, and just let me know because registration is technically closed. It's all day Friday, we get a bill. Other than that, again, I don't want to take up too much time. I just wanted to make sure that you did have the final version that has been presented to all of the groups. Is there anything else I can?
I wanted to tell you that
Sure.
the code office, we're gonna go around and inspect the nuisance properties to see if they're making progress and give updates, and hopefully we can take some of these off of the nuisance list.
Sounds great, and I will tell you, we did have quite a few removals in 2024 to reflect all the progress that was made by property owners coming out of the pandemic, and that is a measure of success for the city, because you want property owners to step up and take ownership of their properties. So I talked to Cheryl, we have a color-coded spreadsheet that will be shared between all of the groups and categorizes things. So I think there's some really cool things happening in 2025 to help it all be coordinated, because we have a lot of team members involved.
Could you give me a copy of that too, Cheryl?
Absolutely, will do. Anything else for the good of the order? All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
I do have to say something, I know it's not public comment, but before she gets out of here, we did receive some compliments on what Bree's doing with the whole lighted and everything, so, just so you guys are aware, we did receive it, and she's very attentive to the people when they come around, that's what we've been told. So.
Thanks, Francis, appreciate that.
I didn't write it, they just told me.
Way to ruin the moment.
Well, I just wanted to clarify, you thank me. It's probably a good thing.
Moving on, city administrator update, Mr. Backer.
So I'm working with Joel and Councilman Barnhart to take a look at our ARB ordinance because that's going to work in tandem with the community blueprints and trying to revamp downtown. So we want to make sure that is up to date and utilized correctly. I've had some conversations with the governor's office to talk about some businesses that want to expand in Sunbury and how they can kind of help. And then I know we're going to get down and talk about this a little bit farther on the agenda, but had some meetings about some PFAS potential for the city as far as some funding that can come our way because of PFAS in the water potentially that's down here. So I've had some meetings with individuals from New York and honestly know more about PFAS than I thought I would. So, you know, those are just some things that I'm working on, but I know Councilman Savage wanted to know a little bit about the tow drain, specifically for the redevelopment authority, the municipal authority. The municipal authority was awarded some funding from the state, federal government, from Senator Casey before he left office. They still need quite a bit of funding to get the tow drain done. That will and does impact our continuation of the walkway down Front Street. They need to get the tow drain done at least in that portion, or that section first before we put down the sidewalk. Otherwise, we're gonna be ripping the sidewalk right back out. So there is some timing that needs to be done correctly, and unfortunately, and maybe Sven can speak a little bit more to this, but the municipal authority specifically has to find some more funding to get that project done, and it is a rather expensive project. So we are working with PennDOT, and they are aware of this situation, but we're all trying to coordinate things and get this done as quickly as possible.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Moving on to old business here. We are still in need of volunteers for the following boards. Zoning hearing, 1 person for a 3-year term. HARB, 2 individuals, 1 architect, and the Board of Appeals, 1 individual. So we just want to put that out there as well. If anybody's looking to volunteer to get involved, here's your chance. Then moving on to the fee schedule update here. I know we talked about this during the budget season, but we never actually voted on finalizing the fee schedule for 2025. So it's there in front of you. Are there any questions upon it before we take vote?
What's increasing and what is increasing?
Everything that's in yellow increased. The blue was questions, just, I didn't have to answer those questions, so that was blue just for me. But everything that's in yellow was increased.
Okay. And what is this charge?
That's the fee they want to charge it to all of us.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that twice during our budget season. I'm like, we have to do something because We gotta stop giving everything away for free.
We do, but I don't agree with the amount you want to charge at the ball field for
Okay.
recreation.
So
But
what do you think it should be? I mean, I'm up for anything, but
I
you can't.
understand, I don't have the answer, that's the problem. I've been thinking about this because I understand we have to do things, it's natural progression. I have no problem with that. I guess I have a problem with charging a T-ball team paying for $50 for a ball field, and
Those are like, with our own leagues, like our own quadrant league, like the softball field, like, they already pay. I'm talking about someone who wants to host things on their own, and they're making money off the city and not giving anything back, well, we're, you know.
how do they make money off the city?
When they charge teams to go there and play.
Do you think they actually make a profit off a lot of those tournaments?
I don't think they're losing money on doing them. I mean, I'm willing to bet like they're not doing it, oh, I'm gonna lose money on doing this.
Nobody does anything to lose money.
Well, that's what I'm saying, so they are making money, but we have to do something to cover our costs. We have to do something because everyone else is charging fees just to cover their costs, but we're giving it all away for nothing.
I don't disagree with that, I just don't, and I don't have the answer. I just know that, like I said, I thought about it. I have thought about it, I don't have an answer for it. Do I think there needs to be something? Not just necessarily disagreeing with that. I don't know that you could bring, are you talking, so just for the field, so what if that person is doing a tournament that's 10 hours, it's just one-time field fee?
No, it's like how many times you use that field. Let's say they're
Okay,
gonna
so
have
that's
10
what it
games
means.
on that field, you pay $50 per game. If it's a night game, obviously you pay more, because we have to pay for the lights. Like, we're eating, like, when there's night games there, we're eating that cost as a city.
Okay, then that I don't agree with, because I think then I think you're just trying to wipe out that extra,
Yeah, I think that.
You just want that to be gone.
Excessive.
yeah. But if you
mean
want to spend, hey,
Charging to use the lights, is that what you're saying, or? I'm just confused, because,
Oh, no, I'm not saying.
charging to use per field game.
I think what I would envision, okay, so there's a fee and you pay to play tournaments, every team plays that, you know.
correct, yes.
So say it's $350, okay, that $350, where you're paying to, you know, covers whatever
Hey,
they're.
whatever's involved in the tournament.
But if you're going to add a fee on there, which I think you should, I'm not saying you shouldn't. It shouldn't be per game, it should be per tournament.
Okay, then what, I mean, we have to come up with something. We can't just say, we're gonna look into it, we never look into it.
Can I just, to make it simplified, per team, if they charge them $350, now we're gonna charge $450, and that fee goes back to the field usage.
Correct.
So it's real easy, you get 10 teams, you get $50 a head,
Yes.
and it's simple.
Well, 10 teams are.
Well, whatever it is, like I said, we have to do something. I don't care what the fee is.
No, and I agree with that.
That's for the field. Now, if they're gonna use the concession stand, yeah, there should be a charge for that too.
Correct,
That
yes.
should go, you know, however the organizer wants to do that, that needs to go to them. You know, using the field's one thing, using the concession stand is another, because you're using the gas that's there or
The
whatever.
electric, the water, all that
And I
stuff.
think you have to give them those options, because a lot of the tournaments don't always use the concession stand anymore.
And
It's
that's
not,
fine.
they bring their food trucks, but we have to give them the option to do that, and then they pay the electric for whatever.
Well,
you know,
you know,
well, the food trucks
then
use
there's a
no-
fee for using the concession.
Correct,
stand.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think we should charge somebody if they're not gonna use it.
Oh, correct, yeah, right.
The $100 for the concession stand, they won't use it because they don't make any money. That day was selling hot dogs and hamburgers. All depends.
Well, there's a softball tournament up there, and they're selling at a concession stand, they're making money.
When they have the larger tournaments, they're gonna want the concession stand, and at that point, I think they'll pay $100 to have it.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they'll have the field truck, the food trucks, not field trucks. But I think you have small tournaments, and we do have a lot of them, they're not gonna use the
Well, they may
concession
not,
stand.
you know, if it's a one-day tournament, they may not use it.
Because then they also have to come with volunteers, and I think that's part of the other problem, is finding volunteers to run the concession stand.
So now, this is strictly, somebody's having a tournament, or little league and so forth.
No, there are two, because that's our own local
Now,
company.
this, so, my understanding is just for tournament stuff,
Okay.
or private.
Anything private tournament wise that isn't open, not open to the public, but not our own
Anything that's
public.
not part of our quadra league or little league or softball league.
Yeah, anything out of the ordinary, their normal regular season.
So let's get this, it's $50 per team for a tournament. That's for the usage of the field.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I don't think it matters whether there's lights or not, because, you know, that's gonna be enough to cover it. That should be enough to cover the.
Okay, now let's go back then, $100 for concession thing. If there's,
I mean, I think if you think about it, charge them $100, it gives them the option to take it. If they don't wanna pay the 100, they don't use it.
Right. And the bigger tournaments, they make a lot of money.
If the bigger tournaments
And
have the
I'll
people
tell
that
you
will do
this,
it.
when the high school does it, for the softball games, they make good money.
Okay, but let's not worry about high school here.
No, I'm just trying to say to you, that's what they make, they're successful.
The potential is there. They don't always do it, some will lose, probably nobody ever loses, but they do enough to break even.
There's most of certainly,
Exactly. So, but I think if we put it on there, and we put it on there, and if they don't wanna use it, they don't wanna pay the $100, they won't use it. They'll work out other deals.
Now we're down to the explosion, just go down below there now, Josh.
What do you,
Yeah, on the road closures, that consists of what?
well, you know, people, they gotta take the signs out, set the signs up, take them down, well,
What
that,
are you referring to?
yeah, like, you got, if you want a road closed for a block party, all right, like, that's, you gotta pay $100. And then, I mean, the event trailer, I just threw a number on there, I don't know what you wanna pay for that, but you know what that costs to outfit and all that kind of stuff.
Now, back to the venture, it strictly, doesn't of course include anything being done by the city of Sunbury.
Yeah, but, like, it says, everything costs money, and like, the stuff that are asterisks next to, like, we need to have a credit card on file, because you know how's in the past, like, stuff comes back broken, stuff comes back missing, stuff doesn't even come back at all. Like,
That's why running out to a private individual, that's one of the problems I'm concerned about. So,
well, I agree, there should be a credit card on file. If you're renting something, there should be a credit card on file.
because I know what happens when our people use this stuff and it gets broken.
Right.
That's why we don't have no pop-up text. They always come back broken, nobody wants to pay for it.
exactly, that's why you put the credit card, but if it comes back broken, hey, we'll send you a receipt, what we bought and paid for, and here's why.
Okay, the road closure thing though, so you're asking any road closure, any road closure?
Like, meaning, if we, outside our own city stuff, like, if Joe Blow wants to have a block party, and he wants to close, I don't know, whatever street, obviously, you get to go up there, take the barriers up, take the barriers down, do all that kind of stuff. And once again, if the stuff comes back broken,
So
doesn't.
you're saying pretty much everything that these extra fees you wanna do are not, they're just the private?
Yeah, it's all private entity stuff, like, for example, I mean, this is just the main stuff, my own personal opinion, if a business is having some event in the park and using all our electric, once again, we're eating that cost, well, they're getting sponsorships to make money, but we're still eating the cost. I mean, we have to start somewhere on stuff, I think we gotta start somewhere, but like I said, we just can't continue to give everything away when no one else does it.
Not all events are getting sponsorship.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying, but if you're a business putting on an event, obviously you're doing it to help promote your business to do something. It's just like you go anywhere else, go down to the high school and try to rent one of their facilities once, it's not free. So it's just stuff we need to,
Back to the garbage cans, I know it's not $50 a garbage can, so.
but no, it's just, if you need garbage cans, it's $50. Like, because, once again, we're putting bags in it, we're emptying the cans, we're taking rid of all the garbage. That, unless they're getting their own dumpster, then they don't need garbage cans, but still, once again, how many bags are we going to?
How are we quantifying? What if I leave it with one trash can, or if I need 20, and where are they?
That's what I was getting at.
Well, you can make it like, okay, for this number it's this amount, for this number it's this amount, but once again, we have to put an amount on something. We just can't continue to give it away.
Well, give us a suggestion, Sparky.
Well, I think anything from 1 to 5 cans is $50, anything 5 cans and above is $100.
There you go, well said, I like it.
Well, why don't you just put a garbage can, give me a fee for a garbage can.
$15.
It's $10, it's $10 broke down.
Yeah.
$10 a month.
Why don't you just combine that with the dump, with the trash then?
That would be my next question.
If you're gonna rent a garbage can, why don't you just have that the dumping it or the trash included in the garbage?
So make it $15
And that's the
Per
garbage
can.
can?
per can.
That's the garbage can at the dump.
Because if I was someone at an event, I'd rent the garbage can and not purchase the dump trash fee and then make you dump it for free.
That's what the credit card's on file, that's what we're talking
Oh,
about.
true.
That's just for sure.
The can and the bag and the
So,
trash.
yeah, as long as you just put them together,
Did I
the
get
garbage
that right?
can, trash, and bags, $15 per can.
Chairs, how much a chair?
I have no idea. I didn't know we had
Do we do a lot of, honestly, do we do a lot of,
No.
I know most events I do, we bring a lot of our
What
own.
chairs do we have?
What
We
tables and chairs
have
do we
20
do?
chairs in the trailer, 20 or 25.
Chairs and tables, it's about around there.
Do we ever use them?
Not right now, because people, we just got the event trailer, but now that we have the event trailer, people may wanna use them.
Do you foresee us ever using it?
So they're paying,
I mean, other than for staff?
That's where it's gonna get, we're not taking the chairs off the trailer, running the Joe below 5 chairs, then wait for them to bring them back. It's not worth it, because I think Joe the tent man charges $3 a chair.
I don't know what he charges off the top. He just puts it on.
$2, $3.
But I'm gonna say, like, if they want, hey, I wanna do something in the Cameron Park, I need chairs.
You know,
We still have to have someone come drop the chairs off, pick the chairs up.
Personally, I would stay away from the tables and chairs. I mean, we don't have that many of them. And I would just keep them for our own staff whenever, you know.
Well, and here again, it's, for the hassle, it's not worth it.
No, I agree.
The garbage can rental you don't have for a credit card, I get one for that.
We can put it.
I think it's a credit card, you need a credit card for everything you're gonna do.
Well, I think Spanx,
You say
One
add
credit
it.
card for everything?
credit card for anything that you do. And no chairs, no table rentals.
Yeah, just scratch that.
And combine with garbage can rental.
Yeah.
And that's $15.
Back to the event trailers, if there is a situation that they're gonna rent the trailer itself, we have to transport it, it has to stay in the city, it's not gonna go to Timbuktu and goes back in the side store.
Yeah, that's,
when people use the event trailer, whose insurance is covering the people while they're in it?
It just says,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we're just hauling it and dropping it off, and the stuff's inside, for them to take in, take out.
it should stay in the city of Sunbury.
Correct, yeah.
But do you foresee that the trailer being used?
I really don't.
I mean, we don't know, because we just got it last year, last.
But you can envision this stuff, Josh. I mean, there's events that go on.
Well, I mean, if we have, like-
We're not gonna be putting a trailer out there for a lot of these events, other than for our own people.
It's 99% because Jeff just mentioned it already. With the same token, we don't have tents, okay? And what Joe charges to bring the tent in, the chairs and the tables, that's $200 involved.
I don't, personally, I don't see what you, unless there's electrical cords and stuff on there, that's,
There is, there's spiders, electrical cords,
you know, that kind of stuff that I would.
Normally, if at a wedding, someone's gonna
Tonight?
hire a band, they bring their own equipment, they're not coming over getting our food and so forth.
alright.
What about, would any of that stuff be used for like, your events down there, Josh?
Yeah, like when we
Like
did,
electrical stuff or?
yeah, when we did New Year's Eve, I
Use
just,
that for other,
Well, that's all city stuff though.
well, but, you're allowing vendors to use the stuff up there and they have, for Sunbury celebration.
They use our spiders and actually, the last 2 years, no, really weren't. Most of those guys have those quiet generators now, stay out of that racket. John had his own generator now and so forth.
The trucks have their own generator now, don't they?
They're quiet when
Inverters.
So why don't we just hold off?
okay, that's fine.
For now, until we see, because we don't do that in events.
Yeah,
The biggest thing is the ball fields and garbage cans, am I correct?
and road closures.
Road closures.
Yeah, road closures is a good thing too, because, hey, when you use the fire hose, you pay, cost you, not free.
Does that cover that type of road closure too? Like,
No, that's-
or you're talking just putting a sign out?
That's for us, like, if they need fire police, that's on them to organize, that's not through us.
So at this point, we're looking at $50 per event, per rental up there at
Per team,
per team.
correct, and then the
And
concessions,
$100 for the concession stand if they choose to use it.
correct.
And then road closures, $115 per can for garbage can rental and dump, to dump trash in the bags.
In the back.
Here's a stupid question.
How many bags?
Well, I was gonna say that to say I only want 1 can, but I'm going through 10 bags. You know, someone will do it, because
One bag, take the rest home.
Okay, so we can revisit it next year.
see how it
We'll
goes.
see how it plays out.
But also, you have to say with the credit card on file, if there's 25 bags there, obviously it's a different story.
So,
Look at that, Josh.
What?
I know, there's always a way around it.
one thing I would.
As long as everything's signed and documented correctly.
One thing I would recommend, and you can go to, you can say you're crazy, but I would say that for anything up the ball field, that money be put aside in a special account to help pay for stuff, for repairs and stuff up there. And not put that into the normal budget.
I know in the past, the tournaments, they always did do, a lot of times it was, that's another issue.
Correct.
That's fine, yes.
Yes.
But I think that's the way that we could start building, maybe build that financial unit, which is used,
What else replaced things?
yeah, you
It's the reason for it.
All right, any other questions on that?
Is everything that we're increasing, is it going up 50%
You mean
in our fee
in
schedule?
the fees? I don't know the exact.
This was based off of, whenever we had that work session a while ago.
November 11th to 25th.
Yeah, that was based off of the suggestions off there. I don't wanna say all of it's going up 50%, I'd say majority is going up 50%. I know,
Did we better read over this fee schedule there?
And this is the one, we already approved this at our two budget ones, we just never voted on it. So this is when we sat down, had the work session, said, all right, we reviewed what went up on our end that had to be passed off onto the fee schedule for 2025. So it's just a matter of us, we need to actually vote it to put it into practice for 2025. Correct. Yes, sir. Please leave it
Yeah.
Is there questions on it? Can we vote or are we reviewing it? Oh, no, so this is, this was already,
It might as well just be done, and then if it's an issue, we change it next, I mean, we go back to it next year.
sounds good, Lisa. I like what you're,
Quick question here.
quick question.
Yeah, on the second one down, second page. Contractor licenses, it says a residential contractor, $100, and commercial, $200. Yeah, John, what's the difference?
Commercial, sure, there's no difference in them, is there?
Commercial property is, 2 or more units.
say that again, sorry, couldn't hear you.
Commercial property is 2 or more units. That's when we have
And this is
the
for contractors license.
Contractor, commercial.
Right,
Yeah.
it's within the IC, that's our,
Oh, that's the NEIC.
That's probably in the
That was the NEIC.
No, that's not an EIC.
It's on theirs.
This is for contractors who are registered to work in the city.
Correct.
Yeah, so then, so why,
But isn't there a difference between a commercial contractor and a residential?
Correct, that's.
but what is the difference?
So residential is, I'm inspecting your house, the commercial is 2 or more.
I'm inspecting like
More than-
City
More
Hall.
than 2, excuse me, more than 2 residents. Like your place, you might have four houses.
Wait a second. This is a contractor you work for,
Contract.
not inspections, if I see this right.
You're working, I'm coming, it's a house that has 4 rentals in it. It's 4 rentals, is it commercial? I'm doing work on a 4
Commercial property.
4 rental property, that's a commercial property. I have to have a commercial license to work on that one. If I'm working on Nathan's place, which is just a single house, I need just a regular license.
There's 2 different types of licenses that a person needs to have in order to work.
Did you say 4 unit, Cheryl said 2 units?
It's more than 2.
So
More than
we just
2
use the example.
More than 2 is commercial, less than 2.
Or doing work in wide markets, commercial.
Yep.
How many licensed contractors do we have in the city, do we know?
So you're saying about a 4 unit, I'm going, look at this unit right here, now I have a commercial license.
I do, yes. If I
But
do
I'm
it,
not working on all 4 units, I'm just working on 1
it's a
unit.
commercial property though. It's more than 2, it's a commercial property. I'll put a roof on a 4 rental property. It's a commercial license.
The difference is if the person is working on a residential structure or a commercial structure, according to our ordinance. That differentiates between the residential contractor and a commercial. Because the commercial says any person who owns or operates a construction business or who offers to undertake or agrees to construct, alter, or repair a commercial structure for profit. And the residential, any person who owns or operates a home improvement or construction business, same thing.
This in November.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot, Josh, I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay, but like I said, the time to ask questions is what we're doing. I'm not saying you're not allowed to ask questions, I'm saying the time to ask questions, you had 2 meetings on it to go through it.
I'll make a motion to approve the fee schedule as presented
Second,
and amended at tonight's meeting.
second.
You heard.
Yes. Also, we can't figure this out, we're supposed to understand the residents, understand it, we need to publish it, get it out.
Ister,
Yes.
Martina,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Josh.
Yes.
Procius, excuse me.
That's all right, yes.
Savage.
Yes.
All right, moving on to new business, I make the motion for termination of David Mendler. Do I have a second?
Savage.
Yes.
Procius.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Ister.
Moving on, Mr. Backer.
For CDBG competitive, Susquehanna Avenue Resolution 2025-005. Jamie, do you want to talk about it a little bit?
So, during our public hearing citizen participation process for your 2024 CDBG application, we did include the possibility of applying for a $1 million competitive for the Susquehanna Avenue Phase 2 project. The most recent cost estimate from your engineer does show that we could use those extra funds, so this evening I brought along a resolution to apply for those funds, which basically says that this resolution is authorizing the submission of the application to BCD for the CDBG competitive, and it's the public interest of the city to receive those funds. The city has the legal authority and responsibility under Act 179. We've undertaken a considerable citizen participation process necessary. You're familiar with the requirements. You wish to apply, and that Josh, the mayor of Procius, is authorized to sign the necessary forms and documents to submit the application. And if there's anything deemed to be ineligible, you'll agree to pay it, and that the mayor is empowered to place his signature on all of the forms. So I have all of the signature forms here tonight, including said resolution.
Motion.
Second.
Yep.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Ister. Procius.
Yes. Moving on to the easement, we're going to table that, correct? So I make the motion to table the deed of easement. Do I have a second?
Second.
Martina.
Yes.
Ister. Savage.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Procius.
Yes. Moving on, Mr. Backer.
This is actually Councilman Barnhart.
Councilman Barnhart, I apologize.
Make a motion to approve the first reading of Article 8 Central Business District 175-43, permitted uses, and 175-46, off-street parking and loading spaces. Zoning ordinance amendment is the first reading.
Savage.
Yes.
Procius.
No.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Ister.
Yes.
Keep going, Councilman Barnhart.
Some situations have come up in the city, and checking with the state, there's actually a state law that I'm trying to find that you have, if you live more than 25 miles out of the city, and you manage properties in the city, you actually have to have unless you're doing it yourself, or you have consequentity, you have to hire a manager that has a broker's license. That isn't the city, that's state. So if anybody, I got everything up here to show it, if anybody cares to read it. So I'd like to make have to make that a motion to, or just follow it, it's already a law.
Yeah, you're just informing the public and the council.
So, inform, you live more than 25 miles, you can hire somebody to be a maintenance man, but you cannot handle leases, you cannot say who's gonna rent, you can't handle any kind of money, you can't handle anything like that unless you have a broker's license, or like I said, it's consequentity, so.
All right, thank you, Councilman Barnhart. Keep going, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation of Code Enforcement Officer Robert Hawkins.
Second.
Savage.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Ister. Barnhart.
Yes.
Keep going, Councilman Barnhart.
I'd like to make a motion to approve that I can advertise and hire a code enforcement officer, full-time, part-time, or full-time. The starting rate would be $16 an hour.
Second.
Savage.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Ister. Brochus.
Yes. Keep going, Councilman Barnhart.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I'd like to make a motion to approve $50,000 go to the fire consolidation for the purchase of a vehicle.
Second.
Martina. Ister. Savage.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Moving on here, I make a motion to accept the Kames Law Firm PLAS agreement. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ister. Savage.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Go ahead, Councilman Ister.
Yes, John Hall for maintenance of the hired him to work in the building here, $15 an hour, do I have a second?
Second.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Ister.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes. Keep going, Councilman Ister.
Working on finding somebody to work part-time up the Lincoln out in the field. Jeff had put down $15, I have to take that out and just have it open, depending on the qualifications, because we don't know where or how. Any questions? Not any motions.
Second.
Savage.
So I'm sorry, just to be clear, you want to take out the hourly rate, then base it on qualifications after
Bring
review?
bring that back to the council.
To the
Yes.
top, to the top on that, Jim. The top, a
The top
ceiling
rate.
rate.
Yeah, $25.
That's why.
I don't know, John. Don't really get it.
Savage.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Ister.
Vouchers and invoices, Councilman Savage.
I will make a motion for the approval of abstracts and vouchers for the general fund in the amount of $116,501.52, liquid fuels in the amount of $10,306, private grants in the amount of $11,392.70, and payroll in the amount of $72,304.15.
Second.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Ister. Brochus.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
All right, moving on to discussion items, Mr. Backer.
DCNR's grant applications are open. One of them specifically is Park Rehabilitation and Development Grant. That can be used for engineering, and in my opinion, one of the things that we need to look at redoing is the OPG. So that can used to be covered engineering for that specific project. It is a 50% match. So we would have to get an estimate for engineering as far as how much that would cost, but a good rule of thumb is 10% of the actual project cost. So, you know, $1 million project for argument's sake, $100,000 engineering. So we would have to come up with $50,000. We could talk to local grants and or foundations to see if we can contribute to that. I believe Councilman Ister put some funds away, a little nest egg for to put towards some engineering for the OPG. You know, I just wanted to make that everybody aware that that is open, and other grants within DCNR specifically, you know, for planning and trails and things of that nature.
Just to add to that, we're going to be talking to our engineer in the next 2 weeks, and then after we discuss that, we're going to make contact with some possible sources of our 50%. We'll have it covered before we make the application. Questions?
And they, I apologize, the applications are due April 2nd.
All right, anyone else on that one? All right, moving on to the RC track, Councilman Meister, I know you said you were meeting with someone after last meeting, as people were just asking how to go, what's the progress on it, so.
Progress is, I met with them, and we were supposed to meet last week, and it snowed, so now we're going together this week.
All right, sounds good. We'll keep it on the agenda until we figure out what's going on. It's on the plan?
Plan, yes.
All right, good to go. All right, moving on here, Susquehanna Avenue project. I know you said you're meeting with Lee. I didn't mention about, trying to put trees up there going up Susquehanna Avenue, so it's not complete bare concrete slab, asphalt with some greenery. It'd be
That'll
nice.
be in phase two, phase one, of course, is completed.
Correct, yes.
And it all depends on the room, what we have after the setback
Okay. I didn't know if it's one of those things, obviously, you need a certain amount of,
space.
yeah, what is that? Like, is it 3 feet, 5 feet, between curb and sidewalk?
We're running 6 inches to a foot.
No, I'm saying, but what do you need though?
Oh.
Okay, I didn't know if it was one of those things, hey, we have 2 feet here, 1 foot on this side, let's put it all on one side so we get something, but something better than nothing, or some curb, some sidewalk cut out with the circles in there so we get some trees in there, so.
I think it's a trade-off between, do you wanna widen the street to drive 2 cars down, or do you wanna trees on the street? Like, I think that's the trade-off.
Well, yeah,
And those bump outs are good for slowing people down, but
yeah,
for accidents as well.
yeah. But, I mean, if you guys remember that, when we had the Penn State guy come in here like 3 years ago, he showed you what a,
Trees are absolutely working in this.
yeah, so it's something that I think we should look into. And remember, it's gonna be a 2-way waste track up there, remember opening it up that way, so just keep that in mind also.
Mr. Slack, has there really been having any issues in Susquehanna Avenue? There are no complaints from residents. Other than this gentleman over here. That Chevy you got.
Potted plants.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and then moving on there, community garden, someone reached out to me how they had a lot of interest in putting a community garden here in Sunbury from, people volunteering from the high rises and things like that. One of the locations that they spoke about was at Central Park there next to Dagenstein, trying to get them involved with the different types of programs throughout the summer. So they just wanted to see if that was something that the city would be interested in.
We have a Central Park.
No, but they want to expand on it, they want to grow it, like, have that one be a success and move one, okay, we have a successful one here, let's see if we can get another community garden going somewhere else.
Right there by the racetrack, would be a perfect spot.
All right, I'll have them reach out to you again, because they said they reached out a couple of times, didn't get back to them, so Olivia Hahn, she's some great coasters out there in 890. Ames, yes, she said they reached out, you may have missed it or something, but.
Yeah, give me your number, I'll call her tomorrow.
All right, sounds like a plan. All right, so that was all that. Councilman Meister, you're up to finish up.
Oh, yes, we have a property, 1122 East Chestnut, it's been sitting there for a while, Jeff and I have been talking about. We're gonna get all the details together until the next council meeting, we pass it out, well, retires of a couple of months, and we'll sell that, get it off the list of maintaining. Is there any questions on the property? Like I said, next meeting, I'll have a copy of the deed, pictures, and so forth. Right, Jeffrey? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Keep going, Councilman Meister.
Please, I would make it out on the truck.
Hopefully done this week.
Excellent. That's it. Done.
All right.
Ready to go.
Cheryl, would you like to give a report on the code office, please?
Sorry.
In the month of January alone, our office has collected $32,800, and that comes from rental fees, quality of life tickets, contractor's license, and zoning permits. In the month of January, our officers placarded 4 homes. We've done 3 inspections, 2 passed and 1 failed. And there are 137 inspections scheduled starting in February. And that's just the start of the list.
Anything else, Councilman Barner?
I got a question. Cheryl, on the situation on Market Street with no heat, what was the outcome there?
We were able to get them heat the gentleman sold the building, it's been taken over, the first thing the gentleman did that is buying it is got the heat repaired so that the tenants could stay in their apartments.
Is there any citations issued to the old property owner?
No, it was our priority to get them heat in the building.
I believe from talking with them, the transaction of when we were made aware of the incident to when the new property owner took over, it was within, oh my gosh, I wanna say less than 48 hours. It was a real quick turnaround by the time we could get to citing the said property owner, maintenance person. The property was already sold and the issue was already fixed.
And letters are going out to all the property owners that reside more than 25 miles that have a property manager. Letters are going out, phone calls are being made to let them know that they have till the end of February to resolve the issue with the property manager so they can do.
So a situation like this doesn't occur again.
Yeah, so and the property owner was made aware of that situation, so that's pretty much on him right now to, if he wants to proceed with litigation to the property manager or the person that was handling it. Is that right, Brad? I said that right?
Right. Any other questions on that? All right, moving on to announcements. There will be a work session held on February 10th at 5 p.m. Then following will be the next council meeting at 6:15. Spring cleanups, tire/television recycling event will take place March 22nd at the John O. Long Field, not 249, but the John O. Long Field. Car/light truck tires are $5 each. TVs are $1 a pound. Once again, TVs are $1 a pound, not $1 per TV, $1 per. No, because, no, I remember last time, here's like, they brought this big old flat screen, like, here's $1 for it, and that didn't roll. Only 100 TVs will be accepted at the event. You must call 570-286-7820, extension number 2, to schedule prior to the 21st. If you're not scheduled, TVs will not be accepted. You do not have to live in the city of Sunbury to participate. Any other announcements at this time? All right, is there any public comment at this time? Please state your name, sir.
Ryan Castle. Just to add more context to that, I own a business that is in the spot with no heat. With the new owners taking over, I'm very thankful to them. The heat has been fixed to the 2 tenants above us, and then they are starting to work already on fixing the problems in at least the business side of things. So I'm very thankful to them, and everything's all good to go.
Awesome, good to hear. Please state your name.
Here we are, Mr. Wright. I just have a question on the fee schedule. Does that apply to for-profit rentals only, or how will that apply to like SRI when we're doing events?
SRI will continue as they were with the fees, with no fees.
So it'll be an in-kind.
Donation back
Thank you so
to,
much. Appreciate
back to the cause.
Hi, so I have I'm not Wendy.
Oh, sorry.
So I have a question about that. So I'm not a business, but I've been doing that event for 9 years. I don't make any money off of it, which is why we charge a really tiny amount for our vendors. We don't, because we take all of that and put it back into it. Like I paid, $300 for sanctuary to come down 1 year and $200 for a magician, and like all of that money goes right back into the event. We don't get sponsorships, we don't get donations, we don't ask anything of the businesses except for them to participate, and we encourage their participation for it. Now, I'm not saying this against anything against the city, because they are helpful, like Steve, very helpful with the road closures and stuff with it. However, in the 9 years that we've been doing that event, the only thing the city has ever done is they drop off the things on Friday for the road closures, which used to be in the alley, now it's out front of Market Street, but it's the same, same area. And they do provide trash cans, however, we get rid of the trash ourselves. And out of all the years they've provided trash cans, actually maybe only 3 years, they actually provided them. The rest of the years, Natalie Marshallek actually took her truck because they forgot them and had to go down. We provided her own trash bags and got rid of the trash. So how does that work for someone like me who's doing an event just to do something for the city? I'm not promoting a business, I'm not making a profit, I'm not.
I think I go back to, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, one of those case-by-case instances saying, well, you just explain how you put on the application, hey, this is what it's for, I'm not profiting from this, what you just explained, I think.
Well, John, last year you got the cans and the tables and stuff, right?
Yeah, so it'd be one of those things,
We don't have tables, too.
if you would need tables, you would've got them. But it'd be one of those things, Lindy, that, it'd be one of those,
So then my tables,
Yeah,
I just got charged.
no, it'd be one of those things, Lindy, like the fee can be waived under certain circumstances, like anything else can be done.
And then I have done like an event or two in the park where we have used the electricity, but maybe like one, like they're never open, unfortunately, because I don't ever open them because they're disgusting, but some, like half of them don't work,
Talking about electricity?
the outlets, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really get that far yet with charging for electricity yet,
Okay,
so yeah.
I just want you to keep that in mind, like, some of them work,
No,
but
no,
a lot of them go,
yeah.
a lot of them don't work, but just, I don't know, okay, so that was my own question.
Okay, thank you.
That form does have an exception form, right? It's
Yeah.
not for what variants or exceptions, right?
Exactly, yes. All right. Any other public comment at this time? Any other public comment at this time? I adjourn this meeting.